All right, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes here and the Kansas City Chiefs, who end up having a bit of an odd day against the Raiders, but ultimately a game that they did win by 7. Again, it feels like every game they play, they can't win by double digits, or at least almost every game they play. However, they were ultimately able to have I would say, a really good offensive day. Again, the overall numbers might not seem like that, but keep in mind, they only had 8 possessions. So, 3.375 points per possession is actually great numbers. Let's talk about what they were able to do well, and ultimately what went wrong, how the Raiders were nearly able to take the lead, but ultimately how the Chiefs prevailed. A lot of what they did in this game was just stuff like this. You see the concept on the screen. It's really that middle route that DeAndre Hopkins is running, the one that's going to stop into a gap in coverage. That's kind of what they were doing. Is the Raiders like to play their zone coverage, and so Andy Reid and the Chiefs trying to exploit that. You see how there's multiple setup routes to help clear out this area. Mahomes throws that ball so quickly that right now Hopkins is sitting down in zone coverage, and I think there was a little bit too with the Chiefs of, hey, here's the new guy. Let's make sure that he knows we want him to be a part of this offense right away. Let's go to him early on a key 3rd down and 7. Mahomes makes a perfect throw. Hopkins kind of catches that one a little bit awkwardly, I have to say. Kind of jumps up and then sort of falls down, but wants to protect himself too with the falling down part. That I get, but either way, hey, a catch is a catch. They pick up the 3rd down and 7, and this is a lot of what they were doing in this game, were things like this. Like this plays another one of kind of a similar idea where what's going to happen is it's a zone coverage concept once again. This time a zone blitz, but you have Travis Kelce running a route that's going to try and get into a gap in coverage more over the middle. And usually when Travis Kelce tries to get into a gap in coverage, what happens? Well, you see, he succeeds at doing it. There's play action, Mahomes fires, and again, there's that window in between those two Raiders players. Kelce just is so good at knowing where he needs to be in these situations, making the window as open as possible. As you see, he hits Kelce. Kelce picks up a good amount of yards after the catch as well, because that's what Kelce does. So, and Kelce had a big day in this one. So yeah, there were things like that they were doing, but then there was also, those two plays aren't the most difficult Mahomes-type plays. Mahomes is also just being Mahomes out there at times. This next one, what's going to happen is it's going to be a zone coverage concept once again that the Raiders are in. It's this sort of Tampa 2 concept, and it's a 3rd down and 6. So again, key play here we're still on the opening drive right now, but a key play as, I'm sure the Raiders would love to hold the Chiefs 2-3 right here. And when the play begins, it's starting to look like that's going to happen. I mean, they do flush Mahomes outside the pocket, and they're doing a pretty good job at making sure that they don't let Mahomes just rush for the 1st down, as we know he's prone to do. Here's the issue is, you're playing zone coverage, which means everyone can watch Mahomes and run up and make a tackle if Mahomes gets outside the pocket. The issue is that you have to make sure you're still covering everybody behind you. There's a player right there for the Kansas City Chiefs. That's Samandre Pirine, who is, currently running past both of those two Raiders players. One of the Raiders players has to stay back and cover him. Because it doesn't happen, though, because Mahomes gets so much attention, he flips it. And I mean, again, it's something that we kind of take for granted at this point, is how consistent Mahomes can do this stuff. People always like to say, oh, the media loves to praise Mahomes left and right. They'll praise him for eating a turkey sandwich or whatever. But like I'll say it before and I'll say it again, I've never seen a player do this as consistently as Mahomes does it. He does this, and it's not even like a highlight reel level play anymore. It was when he was a rookie. Now it's just, oh yeah, this is just what Mahomes does. It's crazy stuff. He did it again later on another 3rd down and 6. This one, we're kind of doing the same thing. Gets a defender to draw in, and then flips it past. The defender is able to hit a receiver that wasn't open at the beginning of the play, eventually gets open. This is part of how you can win a Super Bowl with a, not elite receiving core like he did last year, although that was better than people realized, I think, with Rashee Rice and Kelce being both really good. But nonetheless, when there were plays that were covered, he was able to kind of get some extra time and even sometimes draw the defenders away to still make a play work. Also, something like this, I mean, this is just, again, a high-level play. It's a 3rd down and goal right here. You're going to look towards Kelce trying to get into a gap in coverage, right? Okay, sure, I get that. When his play begins, though, it is not wide open. This is pretty good defense by the Raiders. I mean, to have this, I wouldn't say completely covered up and no chance this can work or anything like that. But they're aware of Kelce. The player of circled in black is trying to get over and cover Kelce. But you look at Mahomes, he's already in the throwing motion. If you have even a slight, crack in your armor, he's going to exploit it. Watch him fire that there in a hurry, gets it to Kelce, who gets into the end zone for a touchdown, his first touchdown of the season. I have a feeling it won't be his last, as, I mean, that's just, it's high-level stuff. So, okay. A lot of good stuff by Kelce, good stuff by Mahomes. This was not a perfect day. It's totally fair to say. And I mean, I'm sure people who are looking at the box score are saying like, oh, this clearly wasn't a great day, right? It was, only 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not an awful box score, but not a great one either. And okay, let's talk about the mistakes, because there were some, for sure. Like this one, for example, you see that they're going to try and hit Kelce over the middle. This has been a weird thing we've seen from Kelce lately, and I don't know if he's always done this in his career. Chiefs fans, you would know better than I would here, but like, watch what's going to happen. Mahomes takes a snap, Kelce gets open and just drops the ball. Feels like he's been dropping a lot lately, right? He's always been the kind of guy who would drop a pass or two, but feels like he's been dropping more as of late. I don't have numbers to back that up, but just from what I've watched, there's that happening. He did drop this one, which was a key one to drop. And then on the next play, this would happen, which is it's a 3rd down and 9 situation. You see, the route that Mahomes is going to want to look towards right here, kind of a deep curl route here against a one-on-one matchup. Mahomes takes the snap. There is some pressure, but it's picked up nicely enough. Mahomes throwing a bit awkwardly due to the pressure, and there really isn't a huge window. Although Mahomes' throw gives the receiver a chance, just not quite able to come down with it. There still is a bit of a receiver depth issue here. I mean, there just is. You look at the stats in this game by the wide receivers. Travis Kelce had 10 catches for 90 yards, but other than that, Xavier Worthy, 4 catches, 37 yards, and a touchdown. That's a solid, day, but that's not usually what you want out of your number 2 option, which he ended up being in this game. A lot of guys had over 20 yards. In fact, they had 6 guys with over 20 receiving yards, but no one else other than Kelce really was able to kind of take over. So when there were issues, that's what happened. And of course, this play, which is, again, I don't know what's going on with Mahomes, but it feels like the guy, I don't know who he screwed over to have this bad luck happen, but it seems like it's happening, where this is a 1st and 16, they're at their own 2-yard line, and game situation matters as well. The Chiefs are currently up 4 points. Mahomes is going to take the snap. He sees a route he likes over the middle, but the pass gets tipped up, and because of that, it gets intercepted, returned inside the 5, and then the Chiefs were able to throw a haymaker of their own by getting a goal line stand, and the Chiefs got the ball right back. Then they ran a 19-yard play to get a touchdown that kind of, essentially iced the game. The Raiders were able to make it a 1-score game again late, but wasn't enough to defeat the Chiefs. Actually, correction, the 19-yard drive was just for a field goal, but still, it was able to kind of, make things work. There was a fumble right after, which then there was the touchdown that kind of sunk things for the Raiders. So yeah, I mean, this offense, it honestly had a really good day. I know that it doesn't look like it if you kind of only watched Red Zone and only look at the highlights, but like watching the game, again, Mahomes is a really good player. This Chiefs team, if their offense plays like this as week in and week out, it's going to have success, and we know their defense is going to play like this week in and week out. Chiefs, that's how they're 7-0, is because they're playing really good football, even if the numbers offensively don't always show it. That's what I think, at least. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.